What's up, everyone? Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in to the Man Cave Sports Talk podcast, where you get real sports, real talk, no agendas, just passion. I'm your boy, the Sacktown Packhound, with my co-host, Tim the Packer Hill. And without further ado, let's go! All right, we're going to get into the open discussion, which is going to be the Super Bowl, obviously. But before we do that, Tim, can we please talk about how bad the Sacramento Kings got screwed?
Which game?
I'm talking about the All-Star, man. Like, oh my God. Fox and Sabonis both don't get in? That is absolutely asinine for a team that's sitting in 5th place in the West that is dominating, if you look stat for stat, with people like... For Cat to get in over Sabonis is, I pulled the stats up on the way here, just for giggles and shits. So Sabonis has played 46 games, Anthony Towns has played 47. Anthony Towns averaging 22 a game, Sabonis is averaging 20. But rebounds a game, Sabonis is averaging 13, Cat is averaging 8. Assist a game, Sabonis is averaging 8, Cat is averaging 3. Blocks a game are both at 0.5. Like, he is killing Cat in the stats, and yet he gets in. Steph Curry gets in when they're sitting 12th in the West. It's a popularity contest.
That's all it is.
The Lakers have sitting 9th, have 2 people get in just because it's the LA Lakers.
Yep.
And then for the Kings to be sitting 5th and to be completely left off is...
Well, you have 2 Clippers there, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul George shouldn't be there.
No.
Cat shouldn't be there.
Absolutely not. Steph Curry technically should not be there. It's just because it's Steph Curry.
Correct.
Their team is ass. When DeMarcus Cousins got left off every year, even though he was the best big man in the league, because the Kings were ass.
Yeah.
They always blamed it on the Kings record. You can't have an all-star when you're at the bottom of the league, blah, 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 blah. But yet the Warriors do.
But now they're at the top of the league.
Yep.
Well, at least the last 2 seasons, they were 3rd last year.
Yep.
They're 5th in the conference this year. Mm-hmm. And they are the only team in the top 6 in their respective conferences that does not have an all-star.
It sucks as a small market team.
And that's why it's hard to get people to come here.
Exactly.
Because you don't get the notoriety as you do in the big cities.
Right.
Which is all bullshit.
It's so frustrating, man. Yeah. I just had to get that off my chest. All right, we're good to go. All right, so the open discussion is going to be the Super Bowl LVIII in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. As much as I hate each of these teams, it should be an amazing game. Both teams have some big superstars with a lot to prove. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid both have 2 Super Bowl rings, one in 2020, one in 2023. A lot of discussion about if the Chiefs win, are they a dynasty? I don't think I would take it that far, but I mean, they're...
No, you got to take it that far.
I don't know.
They've been to the AFC Championship game 6 years in a row.
Yep.
Okay? And it's only because Patrick Mahomes didn't play in 2017 that they're probably not there for 7.
Yeah.
So, 6 years in a row, 3 Super Bowls. They've got 2 wins. You can't knock that as not being a dynasty.
If they win this year, which I think they will, but if they win this year, then I mean, you definitely got to have the discussion. Andy Reid is just a whole nother freaking level. The Niners, they obviously have more to prove because they've already been labeled as that team that can't win the big one. Brock Purdy it's been all over SportsCenter and everywhere else the past week, how he's not getting his respect. So, I mean, they got a lot more to prove, in my opinion, because they got a team that can win it. Their defense is there to win it, but I just don't know how they can win it going against the Chiefs.
No, I like Kansas City in this game.
Yeah.
24-20 would be about the score that I would predict.
Yep.
Unless you have some pick sixes or fumble returns for touchdowns or crazy shit that happens.
Yep.
But yeah, Kansas City's defense is just that good on the back end.
Yeah.
San Francisco may have to rely a lot on their dump and run passing game,
right?
Which irritates me to death.
Yep.
Because they're going to throw short and they're going to throw these crossing routes.
McCaffrey.
Yeah. Outs, crossing routes, and then sometimes the tight end up the seam.
Yep.
But other than that, I can't see San Francisco winning this game.
Well, what I think both teams need to do to win this game. First of all, the Chiefs, they're going into this game as an underdog for the first time. And not that they need any motivation, but use that as motivation. I think one of the most important things they can do is exactly what the other teams have done, and that's attack the Niners' perimeter defense with the run. The Lions were killing them with it. They just had total control. You got to keep the Niners' offense off the field, dominate the time of possession like they did against the Ravens. Tire that defense out. Because if the Niners defense that's the heart and soul of their team. Purdy's not going to win that game. It's going to have to be their defense is going to have to win it. They're going to have to get to Mahomes. It's going to be tough. And something else is the Chiefs cannot depend solely on Kelsey like they've been doing. One of the wide receivers has to step up this game.
Well, the good thing is Sky Moore should be back. Mm-hmm. Even though most people won't like him, Kadarius Toney will be back. But they're also putting Kadarius Toney back in the punt return category. So you know what happened in the last Super Bowl with him returning punts.
Yep.
I mean, he almost got to the MVP status just based off of punt returns.
The Chiefs wide receivers had the most drops in the league this year. Now, Marquez Valdez-Scantling he's been stepping up in the playoffs.
You haven't seen the drops in the playoffs, though.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying, because all season, they were drop, and so far, they haven't been going to him a lot. But I think the Niners are going to make it a point to shut Kelsey down. So they're going to have to go to the wide receivers. Mahomes needs to limit his mistakes. It's going to be tough, though. The Niners were fifth in the year this year and fifth in the league in takeaways this year. They're going to have a scheme drawn up for them. They have the team that can get pressure to them, especially with their line, man. Donovan Smith and Juwan Taylor have had pretty bad seasons. Left guard missed the AFC Championship game, and they don't know if he's going to freaking play or not. The Niners can definitely take advantage of that, and if the offensive line does not step up, that's when the Raiders play them every year. That's why we are so close. Every time we play, the Chiefs are a way better team than us, way better. Yes. But we always either beat them or we're right there within a score, because we put pressure on Mahomes. Max Crosby is in Mahomes' face all game, and that's what you got to do to beat them. And if their offensive line does not step up, it could be a bad day for the Chiefs.
Either side. Mm-hmm. I mean, if the front four get home and you can put 7 in coverage, that team will probably win.
Right.
If you have to start using more guys, it's going to be a little more difficult for the defense to hold up.
Yeah.
Either side.
Right.
Kansas City, hopefully they have their starting linebackers come back for the Super Bowl. Willie Gay getting back. I know their middle linebacker went out in the AFC Championship game. Hopefully he can return. So, you're going to have your front four on both sides that needs to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
But for Kansas City, with the whole Kelsey thing, if San Francisco runs their middle linebacker under safety over on Kelsey and double team him that way, Kansas City is getting McKinnon back.
Yeah.
So there's your back out of the backfield.
Out of the backfield, yep.
Okay, and they use him a lot out of the backfield.
Yeah.
So he is set to return to practice this week. If he does play, I can see him doing a lot out of the backfield if they're going to try to double Kelsey.
Right.
So
I think the Niners, they got to do what they always do, and just a steady dose of McCaffrey. Shutting down Pacheco, in my opinion, is going to be the key to the game. The Niners have allowed 318 yards against the Packers, and the Lions. They have just been, just like I said, they have been so susceptible to the run in these playoffs. It's crazy. And if Pacheco has a day like he's been having, it's going to be a bad day for the freaking Niners. The Niners also have to get to Mahomes, which is going to be tough because Mahomes has dominated them. The last 3 meetings, he is completing 66% of his passes with over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns in 3 meetings. 1,000 yards in 3 meetings. Dude, that is absolutely crazy. The Niners also, they have to win their turnover battle. They have to win their turnover battle. They have to cause a crucial fumble, get a tipped interception, do something to shift the momentum of the game.
We're going to hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, I really hope it doesn't, but that's what the Niners are going to have to do if they have a chance to win this game. They got to stop the Chiefs' pass rush, too. KC was second in the league in sacks this year. They have to stop. And Chris Jones.
I hope Chris Jones mows him down.
That dude, the only I'm concerned about that because the last game against the Ravens, he was hurt almost every play. He was hobbling to the sideline. I know they're gonna. I know he's gonna be shot up. They're gonna shoot him up with so much Novocaine, he ain't gonna feel anything.
He's got 2 weeks
to
recover.
I just hope nothing. You know what I'm saying? Breaks on him, and then, one or more, but one of the Niners' big playmakers, other than McCaffrey, has to have a big game in order for them to win. More than likely, it's going to be Ayuk. I know everyone focuses on Debo. I think Debo is so overrated. He's a great player.
They just use him more than most receivers.
Yeah. Ayuk is the one I feel that you got to be careful of. He's the one that he just seems to always get open down the field.
Yeah, he's their downfield threat across the middle.
Yep.
And you won't see him running go routes anywhere.
Yep.
He's an inside the numbers receiver, slants, deep ends, hooks, curls, what have you.
Tim Brown.
Yeah, and that's what he does.
Yep.
So, I mean,
he's got the speed when he gets it, though, that he can take it.
Yeah. They just have to cover the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy doesn't throw outside the numbers very well.
No.
So you have to make him throw outside the numbers.
Yeah. And what Purdy was doing a very, very good job of against the Lions, which we touched on last week, is he did a real good job of keeping that clock in his head to where he knew when it was time to get out of the pocket. And he was killing them with that because they were almost there so many times. And
yeah, I'm really hoping the KC starts bringing safeties.
Right.
Bring the safeties down and blitz them.
Yeah.
So if they do the play action pass, you still got a safety kind of in your face now.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a really, really good game.
I'm hoping for a blowout.
That's we'll get into that right now. We'll get into our locks, which my locks have been ass. I'm just going to tell you right now, my locks have been ass. How do the freaking Lakers beat the Celtics without LeBron or AD?
In Boston.
In Boston, bro. Like, oh my God. But I feel confident in this one. So, my lock for the Super Bowl and my stat that I think is going to happen. My lock is going to be the Chiefs to beat the Niners. I think the final score will be 31-17. I think Pacheco is going to have 125 combined yards and 2 touchdowns. And I think Purdy will be sacked at least 3 times. What I'm picking as a lock more than anything else is I'm picking Andy Reid over Kyle Shanahan. That's what I'm picking more than anything else because Andy Reid, in my opinion, is the ahead of Belichick. I know what Belichick did, but Andy Reid is the greatest coach, in my opinion, that there is. He game plans better than anybody I've ever seen for whoever he goes against. Yeah. And Belichick was great when he had Tom Brady. When Tom Brady left, Belichick was terrible. There was 6 coaching vacancies this offseason. He still does not have a job.
No.
If Andy Reid decided for whatever reason to leave, people would fire their coaches to make sure he got a job.
Yeah.
Andy Reid is amazing, and I think he's just going to outcoach Kyle Shanahan.
I think so too. Going with the point of the Tom Brady versus the coach thing kind of goes into my lock, which, yes, I have KC winning roughly 24-20. I think it's going to be a fairly close game. But I'm also taking the under of 47.5 points.
Okay.
And the reason is Kansas City, over the past 12 games, the second half has gone under every game.
Yeah.
And only 4 games this entire year has the total score been over in any of the Kansas City games.
Yeah, their last game, they only scored 17.
Yeah, and they scored 0 in the second half. There was one game against the Bills, and there was the early game against the Bears, which everybody scores on the Bears, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I believe the under is going to come in. I think Kansas City is still going to win the game. But I want to give you some props that I'm going to be betting.
Okay.
So you tell me what you would do with these. I've got Mahomes on the over of 1.5 touchdowns.
I think that's pretty much a given.
I've got Mahomes under 37.5 pass attempts because of the running game that they're going to have.
Yeah.
And the ball control and the tick, 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 tick of the clock. These quarters are going to go fast.
Yeah, they're going to go real quick because both teams are going to try to keep the other off the field, I think.
So I think under 37.5 is good. I like Pacheco over on 17.5 receiving yards. Swinging him out of the backfield.
The only thing with that is if McKinnon is back, that's going to be tough.
If McKinnon's still
because
out,
if McKinnon's back, they're going to use Pacheco as a workhorse, and they might even have a 2-back set with both of them back there, and McKinnon's going to be getting a lot of those screens.
Which I had in there. If McKinnon's still out, then that's where it's at. I have Purdy over of 0.5 interceptions.
Yeah, I think he's going to be picked twice.
Yeah. I have Purdy under 1.5 touchdowns. Because they're going to run it.
Everything is going to be Christian McCaffrey.
I have Purdy over of 11.5 yards rushing.
Yeah, because they're going to be on his ass. So
he's going to escape the pocket at some point in time, and he's going to pick up some yards with his feet.
I think one of the picks is going to be a tip ball. They're going to have a lot of pressure. He's going to be trying to get rid of it, and they got a big line. So I think there's going to be some tip balls in there.
He stands in the pocket a lot. He doesn't escape out the outsides. He escapes up the middle.
Right.
So, yeah, just pop them one time and
exactly.
all your plans go out the window. But the other one I have is anytime touchdowns. Debo is plus 175.
Okay.
So in the betting world, if you guys don't know, if you bet 100, you win 175. So you're getting 1.75 on your money. Jerick McKinnon, if he plays, is plus 600.
Oh my God.
So I may drop a hundy on him to try to pick up 600 off of that.
Yeah.
And then Mahomes.
Plus 600 for what?
Anytime touchdown.
Anytime touchdown.
Anytime touchdown.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be the first one.
Okay.
Anytime touchdown. Plus 600 currently.
Okay. And if they're on the goal line, that's definitely a possibility. Definitely.
Anywhere inside the 10, they do this.
They have so many. If they're inside the red zone, they're going to be focusing so much on Kelsey. It's going to leave that screen right there wide open.
They have a lot of tricky, gadgety plays inside
Reed,
the 5-yard line.
Reed.
So who knows who could do it. But the other one is Mahomes every year has had a rushing touchdown since he's been the starter in 2018.
Right.
This year he has 0. I bet he gets one in the Super Bowl.
He is tush push.
And he is plus 400 of an anytime touchdown.
Oh, okay.
I think he runs one in.
That'd be a good one. That'd be a real good one.
Those are my locks that I'll be in Reno betting these things.
I like that.
Probably along with 30 or 40 other prop bets. But those are the 6 that I have seen that
Tim might be bringing the alcohol next week.
So we're prop betting the hell out of this thing.
All right, let's get into the hot topic, and that's the NBA possible trades and the buyers and sellers. The trade deadline is Thursday, February 8th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. So let's just get into who can possibly be traded first, and then we'll get into the buyers and sellers. I'm going to start off with someone that I think people are going to go, what the hell? And I will admit there's probably a 0.0005% chance that this happens, but LeBron James. LeBron James is 39. He has a $51 million option for next year. He is on a roster that is unlikely to do anything as they sit. They're sitting 9th in the West, one game over 500. he has repeatedly voiced concerns about the team, that he's unhappy. And he has also, this is the main thing, he has let it be well known that he's going to play 1 year with his son, who's going to come out next year. His son is not very good.
No.
If he was not LeBron James' son, you want to hear about him.
Nope.
So, if I was the Lakers, you have lost so much draft capital from other trades and whatnot. You don't have a lot right now. With the team you have right now, you've shown you're not going to do a lot. You know what you could get for LeBron James for just because teams like Orlando, they would die for him, even if it's for the rest of this season, because they're a young enough team that he is going to bring in such an immense amount of revenue into your freaking arena. Your games are going to be sold out every night no matter what. Freaking jersey sales are going to go through the roof. But if they don't trade him, they're going to lose him anyway. Because unless you're willing to waste a first round, pick on Bronny James, they don't even have.
He may not even be drafted.
He's going to be drafted because LeBron James already said he's going to go to whatever team drafts him. So a team's they're going to overdraft for him to get LeBron James. It's not about him.
Yeah, but why do you want a 40-year-old LeBron James?
For revenue.
And $50 million.
It's for revenue. You know how much? It's just like Taylor Swift being at a game. She's bringing in $300 million. Yeah. You go to a struggling franchise, he's going to fill your freaking arena every day. Your jersey sales, just your memorabilia sales are going to skyrocket. He's going to probably freaking bring you in $500 million that you wouldn't have.
Yeah, but the Lakers have already come out and said they're not trading him, and
that's what everybody says.
Nor does LeBron James say he wants to leave.
But he also has refused to openly talk about his contract. He has refused to answer questions on if he's going to stay with them.
He has one more year after this year, right? If I'm not mistaken, there's one more year left on the deal.
He has an option after this year, a player option.
Okay.
Which will be $51 million.
Correct.
He's also, in the past week, put out 4 tweets with kind of hinting. One of them was a freaking hourglass. Another one was, he's made it very open that he would love to play for the Knicks. He loves the Knicks. He loves the city. He wants to play there. They're currently 4th in the East. Mm-hmm. I think he doesn't need the money. He has so much money and endorsement. He doesn't need the money. No. He can go wherever he wants to go if he thinks they have a legit chance of winning the championship. You're telling me that if the Knicks came and they said, we're going to give the Lakers, we're going to give you 4 first-round picks, and we'll take the salary hit, and they go and they tell LeBron, we're going to draft your son so Bronny can play in New York. We have our team. All you're going to do is put us over the edge. He's going to a team where he wouldn't have to play a lot of minutes because right now he has to play all the time unless they're playing against the freaking Celtics, apparently. Yeah. But he has to play more minutes than he should have to make that team competitive. And they're not going to do anything anyway. They're not coming out of the West.
Oh, the Lakers? No.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, I think, like I said, I doubt that it'll, happen. But I think the Lakers would be stupid not to consider it.
Well, the Lakers weren't supposed to come out of the West last year, and they still got the conference finals on the back of NBA officiating.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Okay, so I wouldn't put it past them to get far in the playoffs once they get through the play-in games of screwing 2 other more relevant teams.
They're a year older. The team that they have right now is just D'Angelo Russell's not it.
Well, the thing
Max Christie he's a good young player, but he's not it.
The Lakers are currently shopping D'Angelo Russell and Gabe Vincent. Mm-hmm. They're not getting takers, but they're shopping them.
Yeah. So D'Angelo Russell, his best days are behind him. I think he's a good player. He'd be a good veteran player on another team if he's a third option, but he's a third option now.
Well, he needs to come off the bench.
Yeah, he could, but I don't think in his mind that he's a bench player. I think he thinks he's a starter.
Yeah.
And just depending on the team that he goes to, he could be, you know.
Yeah, I don't think the Lakers do anything with LeBron James.
I don't think so either.
He's going to probably play out his contract there. He's going to do the player option for $51 million to stay in Los Angeles, as long as they can help him a little bit.
Like I said, I don't think that he's going to end his career in Los Angeles.
But I guarantee he doesn't go to any small market team. He is going to be in the limelight somewhere, either New York. I wouldn't say he goes to Boston because that's never going to happen.
Well, like I said, I will say right now, I will bet whoever drafts Bronny is getting LeBron.
But it wouldn't surprise me that he heads back to Miami either.
Mm-hmm.
So
someone's gonna freaking work something out to where he will be on a team with Bronny, and that will be his last year.
Yeah, but I don't think it comes in a trade. I think it comes at the end of his contract, and he's a free agent, and then he works with.
Well, if Bronny comes out next year, he won't be able to exercise that player option unless the Lakers are willing to waste a draft pick on him.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is, does Bronny come out next year or does he stay one more year? Because he's not good.
He's not good. Like I said, if he was not, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's not NBA good.
No.
And if he was not LeBron James' son, there wouldn't even be any talk of him.
No.
You would not hear of him.
Nope, he's not NBA ready.
He just started playing. He had the whole cardiac issue, which, thank God that he's all right. But he just started playing for USC.
Yeah.
And he's not even doing that great.
No, he's not.
All right, we'll get to someone else. Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine was one of the biggest names involved. There was a lot of people looking at him, including the Kings. But he did just undergo right foot surgery. He's going to be out 4 to 6 months. I think that's going to drop his stock, on top of the fact he's in the second season of a 5-year deal worth $215 million.
Yeah, he's more than likely not going to be moved.
I don't think so either. Alex Caruso, everybody wants him. I don't think the Bulls want to get rid of him. But if they want to shop one of those two, I think they could get a lot more for Caruso right now just because of he's healthy, number one. He is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. He can score. He can either come off the bench and run your offense, or for a lesser team, he can be your starting 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'd take him and send Harrison Barnes and
100%.
Davion Mitchell up
both
to
of
Chicago.
them. I just don't think contract-wise we could ever make that work because they've already put it out there. They want 1 or 2 first-round picks, and I don't think he's worth that. Maybe 1. I don't think he's worth 2 first-round picks.
Well, then again, if you're picking 22nd or 23rd.
It does depend where you are picking at, but I also don't think they're going to let him go for a team that's picking 18 to 25 in the draft.
No.
When they say 2 first-round picks, I think they want top 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then, are you going to have like a top 5 protected or whatever the deals are?
Right.
But, you were talking about the salary caps or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Kuzma's name has been dropped.
A huge name in the...
I was working on a website called Spot Track Trade Machine with Washington and Sacramento and the contracts and what would make sense. Kyle Kuzma for Harrison Barnes and Chris Duarte, salary-wise, contract-wise, makes sense and would work.
Right.
I would love to make that trade.
Do you know how many years he's under contract for?
He's got another 2 years on his deal.
Okay.
Okay, just same as Harrison Barnes.
Okay.
And Duarte's just throwing in $4 million because, he's going to be...
Yeah, he'll either have to take a cut or he'll be...
Yeah, as of right now, he's got 1 more year left on his deal. Which I've looked at the numbers.
Such a disappointing acquisition because I really was happy with that acquisition this year. I really thought he was going to be a difference maker for us, and he just hasn't panned out.
But the thing is with the Kings, the salary cap right now is $136 million for the NBA. The Kings are currently at $145, and they have like $1.5 million in dead money.
Tax.
So they are paying a luxury tax, but there is this salary, this second apron, which I haven't delved into yet, but the second apron is around 182 million, which the Kings are 34 million under that. So I don't know how that would work if you were to bring in, say, a veteran with a much larger contract, if that would be spaced out into that 182 million.
Yeah.
I would have to do a little more research.
The only thing, I would love to get Kyle Kuzma. I think he would be an amazing fit. My only problem with that is that I know that the Wizards have already because there's so many teams are looking at him. I know they've already came out and said that they want 2 first-round picks. And I don't think that's going to be one of my sellers. I think they're cleaning house because I don't think they want veteran players on the team. I think they want to get, just like the Oklahoma City Thunder did, I think they want to trade everybody away and get 10 first-round picks in the next 3 years to rebuild that team from the ground up. I don't think they're going to be looking to get veteran players unless it's some ridiculous superstar they could get to build their entire team around, and Harrison Barnes is not going to be it.
No, but they also want to get the veteran players that have expiring contracts. Mm-hmm. So they have them and they can dump them.
Right.
So then you can build for the future. Mm-hmm. So that's a way that the Wizards could go.
Yeah, I agree. Salary-wise, I pray that would freaking work. Like I said, I just think they're going to have so many takers on Kyle Kuzma that I think they're going to be able to get something a lot better than Harrison Barnes.
Actually, I had in some notes, Kyle Kuzma just signed a 4-year, $90 million contract in July of 23. So he's on the first-year deal of it. But it is a team-friendly deal as it, if I'm not mistaken, it decreases every year. So it starts from 23 to like 19 or something.
Oh, okay. Klay Thompson, he's in the final year of his deal. He's going to be a free agent anyway. He's gone anyway. The way he's been playing, I think he's gone. They got to break that thing up. I think him and Draymond are possibly gone, but one of them is definitely gone. He's probably not going to get another contract with the Warriors unless he's willing to sign a very team-friendly deal, which I don't think he will. And besides Steph, I mean, they got Kuminga, really good young player, but
and he has been balling for the last few weeks. He's
absolutely
over 20.
Yeah, he's balling. Yeah, I just think that they should get what they can for him now because I think they're going to lose him anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that they're going to break up the Splash Brothers.
He hasn't been splashing this year
at
all.
He hasn't been good.
No.
He hasn't been really that good since the injury.
No, he's been a completely different player. So,
but yeah, I mean, I kind of just hope the Warriors just fade away into the night for a little while.
Me too. Them sitting in the 12th seed right now is making me very, very happy.
Yeah.
Very happy.
I just don't want any San Francisco team to do well.
No.
At all.
I'm not going to lie. I get extremely happy when I see Steph Curry losing his shit on the bench almost every night. I'm just very happy to see that. He tortured us for too many years.
Hey, but Draymond Green hasn't been suspended again since the last time, so I'm quite surprised.
Yeah. And I think probably besides Kyle Kuzma, could arguably be the biggest name out there is DeJounte Murray. I think he's going to be the most sought-after free agent. The only problem is the Hawks gave up a lot for him. They gave up 3 first-round picks, 2 were unprotected, and Danilo Gallinari. He's just not a good fit with Trae Young. They're both ball-dominant players, and they're just not working together. He has to go somewhere where he can free up his game, and as much as I would love him in sack, I don't think he would be a good fit in sack. We can't get him anyway, but he's just too ball-dominant. But he's gonna be highly sought after.
Yeah, there's been rumors that the Lakers and Jazz are both trying to acquire him.
Yeah.
But from the Atlanta side, they don't want a D'Angelo Russell.
No.
They don't want the Gabe Vincent. No. They don't want. I mean, I don't think Austin Reeves is part of the equation, but
I think they want a lot for Austin Reeves.
Yeah. So I don't think DeJounte Murray's going to go anywhere.
Based on what they gave up to get him, for what they're going to want, I think it's going to be hard for them to get rid of him.
Correct.
unless he's traded to like Oklahoma City or something because they have 9 million first-round picks to give up. But
Correct.
I mean,
who would go?
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna? Which Jalen are you taking?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Chet's staying.
Shea's not going anywhere. No. Man, Oklahoma, they were smart, bro. They were smart. Their GM did the damn thing.
I mean, what is Memphis gonna do?
Oh,
Memphis has 13 players injured right now, and they're playing
the other
8
day,
guys.
They had 3 players on their bench.
Yeah, well, no, they're playing 8 guys tonight.
That's crazy.
And,
in an NBA game, that's crazy.
And of those 8 games, I think 3 of them are D-leaguers.
Yeah, they just brought them up.
Yeah. So
Ignite, come on up, let's go.
But I will say one thing. The one guy that I think should move, and where he should move to, is Andre Drummond from Chicago. Mm-hmm. And the 76ers
he's still in the freaking league, bro.
The 76ers, with their issues with Joel Embiid right now, just now having knee surgery and out for however long he's going to be out. I mean, that dude is broke.
Yeah.
He may be the MVP of the league, but
he's not going to be able to be now.
Nope, but he is broke a lot.
Jokic, you're welcome for your 3rd consecutive.
Yeah, and the fact that he never plays against Jokic when they go to Denver is kind of
crazy.
He's just being a puss over that. He just doesn't want to get showed up by a better player.
Yeah. The last one that I'll say, and this is only because the Kings have been linked to this dude for like 4 years, and that's Tobias Harris.
That's not happening either.
I don't think it's happening either, but it's like we are always linked to this dude, man. And it's like, just like Zach LaVine. We had a contract with Zach LaVine 2 years ago, and the Bulls matched our offer. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, might have been a blessing in disguise, though, because that guy has not been able to really stay healthy. Yeah. All right, let's get into buyers and sellers, unless you got any more free agents that you want to add on there.
No, briefly I heard Mikal Bridges out of the Nets, but they're no longer entertaining any offers for him, so they're going to keep him.
Yeah.
And then the other Bridges in Charlotte is just a complete mess, and
probably
nobody wants him.
Yeah.
But Charlotte won't be releasing him either, probably.
So I'm going to go through the buyers real quick. I think the 76ers are up there. They need another piece to compete for a title. I mean, they got Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, and Tyrese Maxey is fucking nice, man. Embiid, it might change now. They're currently 3rd in the East behind the Celtics and the Bucks. They're almost certainly going to start dropping, though, without Embiid. But they need one more piece in there. Without that, I mean, I know they thought it was going to be Harden. They thought a lot of things, and it just never freaking panned out. And they need one more piece.
Well, how much more of the offense is going to have to go through Harden now that Embiid's gone?
Right.
I mean, now that we've seen it,
I
haven't heard of any issues with Harden and scoring.
Yeah.
But
Harden can score. It's just when they ask him to score, he turns into the black hole.
Correct. And he can't defend stuff.
Oh, he's never been able to defend.
I mean, you're losing not only Embiid on the offensive side, but you at least have a presence on the defensive side.
Yeah, a freaking rim protector.
And I don't know who has taken his spot because I don't really care about the 76ers all that much.
Right.
But obviously they have to replace that on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
So, and that's where I thought Andre Drummond would be a really good fit there.
Yeah. The Magic are a very young team with a lot of talent. What the Magic need really bad is a perimeter shooter. They need somebody that can knock down the three. That's why I think Klay Thompson or Bogdanovich from the Hawks would be a terrific fit because they don't need the ball in their hand a lot. Paolo can still dominate the ball, but he can have somebody to kick it out that can consistently hit threes because right now they're missing that. It's like Paolo or nothing.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they have a lot of good young talent. They need a veteran shooter on that team really bad.
But what is Klay Thompson going to bring to him if you can't make him in Golden State when you got the best shooter in the league opposite of you?
Yeah.
So
I mean, for what they might be able to get him for, it could be a chance. Bogdanovich, I think, would be a better fit, but I think they'd have to give up more.
I mean, at least Klay Thompson does play defense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's not going to kill you on that end of the floor.
Right. The Kings, man, we need a freaking perimeter defender, man, and preferably one who can score when it's needed. We don't need a lot of scoring. We have a lot of scorers on the freaking team, but it drives me crazy because like we can defend really good for like 3-minute stretches at the end of a game. And the rest of the game we play no defense.
Yeah, that was
it drives me freaking crazy, and I wouldn't even care if we gave up our next 3 first-round draft picks because we're going to be drafting 17 to 20 for the next 3 or 4 years. We're just good enough to make the playoffs, but not good enough to win it all, but we're not bad enough to get a good draft pick. Yeah, so we're right there in the middle.
We have I believe we have a 3-year window to make this actually happen here. Yep. Because after the 3-year window, DeMontis and De'Aaron Fox,
they're going to want to go to a
who is going to be on a max or a super max contract, and we're going to not have enough to get around them.
Yeah.
So it needs to happen now. Tonight's game was a joke. They allowed 56% shooting from the 3-point line to Cleveland.
That's crazy.
They went 20.
Cleveland's a good team though, but still, they're not
23 of 41.
That's crazy. They shot 41 threes.
Yeah.
Holy.
Well, we shot 44.
That's crazy. 44 three-pointers in the game is crazy. Oh. You're shooting a 3-pointer a minute.
Well, the thing is, I mean...
Oh, my God. Both teams are launching threes.
Yeah, well, watching it, I would see a steal be made and then a 3-point shot be taken.
That's crazy.
Instead of a steal and a layup, it's a steal and a 3.
They had like 85 three-pointers combined.
Sabonis has another triple-double.
He almost had a triple-double in the first quarter.
Well, yeah, he didn't do a whole lot afterwards because it was only 12 points, 15 assists, 19 rebounds.
Yeah, because he had 10 rebounds and 10 assists, right?
And 8 points at halftime.
Yeah. And he almost had that in the first quarter.
Correct. Yeah, he had 6, 8, and 9.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is if they're not getting roasted by a bigger team, they're getting roasted by having a bunch of shooters on the floor.
Yeah. Perimeter kills them.
Yeah, and that's what Cleveland did today. They spaced them out, and I think Strus had like 20-something points, who never shoots.
Yeah.
Never gets 20-something points.
It's like the same thing that Phoenix did to us like 10 games ago. We were up by 22 in the fourth, and it was every time down the court, pass, open 3, pass, open 3, pass, open 3. Yeah. It's like, it's so frustrating,
man. 8 guys hit 2 3-pointers. They had 2 guys hit over 5.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. We need a perimeter defender so freaking bad. It's disgusting.
And Kessler Edwards was in the game quite a bit tonight, just because of trying to defend the 3. But then we have him on the offensive side who can't make a shot.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we got to figure out the 3-and-D guy that we can have do this role. And for some reason, Duarte's on the shit list.
Yeah,
he's not on the floor anymore. Yeah. And now Kessler Edwards is getting in. And he's helped.
Good defender, but like you said, the offense. JaVale McGee, great rim protector, no offense. Yeah. And I love JaVale McGee, and I think there's crucial times that we need him. I think he could have saved us last year against the Warriors, but yeah, we need somebody that could do both. But we really need, that's what Alex Caruso would be so amazing. I just know we're not going to have enough to get him. But he can score, and he's just a great perimeter defender.
Yeah. I mean, with 2 days left to the trade deadline, I'm not hearing anything related to the Kings of really trying to get a specific person.
No.
There's not a lot out there.
No.
Even though everybody sees the difficulties they have on defense. Get a different coach in here. Do something. I mean, not like our head coach, but there's assistant coaches that they can bring in that were not ex-Kings that can probably help them play defense.
And it's just crazy because Doug Christie was one of the best defenders in the freaking game.
Yeah.
It's just
it's got to be an effort thing.
It's funny because, we both coach basketball, and that's one thing I preach to my teams.
My girls won 26-6 last Saturday, and we have held 3 teams under 10 points
Nice.
out of 5 games.
Both of my teams did lose the championship in overtime, but great games, very close games. But I preach to my teams I start my girls' season tomorrow, actually. Boys just ended. I start my girls' season 7th and 8th grade tomorrow. And from the first practice, I preach to them. Anybody can be a great defender, but very, very few are, because it requires so much more work and you don't get the kudos that you do for going out and scoring 30 in a game. You don't get the oohs and the ahs. And I tell them all the time, all you see on SportsCenter is highlights of somebody getting dunked on, and everyone, I said, you know who gets fucking dunked on? The people that are playing defense, because they got dunked on once, but they blocked 4 shots before that. You don't see that, though. No. You see the dunk that they got on their head, and everyone's like, oh, he got posterized. He got posterized because he's playing defense. The people that don't get freaking posterized are the people that see LeBron coming down the lane and run the hell out of the way and give him an open dunk. And it makes me freaking sick to my stomach, bro. Yep.
You set the tone defensively.
Absolutely.
You're not going to allow a bunch of crap to happen.
Absolutely.
I mean, yes, I'm coaching 5th and 6th grade girls, but if someone's going to drive on you, let them know you're there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, if someone's going to set a screen, let them know you're there.
I tell my kids all the time, we don't want to hurt anybody, but if someone's going up for a shot and they're going to make it anyway, you better they think that they're going to make it anyway, and you're going to foul because you're trailing, you better make sure that they don't make that shot. I don't want you pushing or anything, but you better come with the damn tomahawk across that ball and let them know they are not going to have no easy baskets.
Yeah, it's called ice cream for steals.
That's it. Last 2 for me, for the buyers, I'm going to go with the Pelicans. They're in a weird place. They're in the middle of the West. It's a tough place to be. And they need a big-time player, another big-time player, and what they have is they have a lot of draft picks they can offer. Yeah. They've got a lot of things that they can offer to get somebody big. They're one of the teams that could go and get an Alex Caruso because they can offer 2 first-round picks. They can, go and get DeJounte Murray because they can offer the pick. They have things that a lot of other teams don't have the luxury of having, and they need an additional piece because where they're at now, they're just like the same as the Kings. They're good enough to get to the playoffs. They're not good enough to compete in the playoffs.
Unless they play us.
Yeah, and if they play us, then they'll sweep us and win the freaking title.
Yeah. I just don't think there's going to be much movement at all. I think the 3.
I think so too.
I think the Siakam to the Pacers.
That was a big one.
OG Anunoby to the Knicks, and then Terry Rozier to the Heat. Those are. I don't see much after that.
Yeah.
I think all those got done.
I think there will be 1 or 2 big moves that might surprise people, but overall, I don't think there's going to be a ton of movement.
I truly believe the moves that are going to be out there are going to be 2nd-tier, 3rd-tier players and expiring contracts to get people to get a bigger salary cap.
Yeah,
that's what I see.
The last one I'm going to go with as a buyer are going to be the Lakers. They're just a team that's expected to compete for a title, and with their current roster, I don't think that they're going to do that. They need a scorer that could take pressure off of LeBron. LeBron right now is playing the 1, the 2, the 3, and sometimes the 4. Like, he is playing everything. He's 39.
When he plays, because, there's load management.
Exactly,
now, so.
Exactly. Their problem is they don't have a lot to offer, man. They owe their 24 first-round pick to the Pelicans. They owe their 2027 first-round pick to Utah. So they don't really have a lot to offer until 2029 and 2030.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know what they can do, but if they don't bring somebody in, they're going to be...
Which I would be grateful for, because
I'm fine.
You can dump them out of the West too.
I'm fine with it. Sellers for me is the Warriors. Like I said, they got to break up the dynasty, man. They have a $400 million salary. What? Yeah. And they're 12th in the West. Their luxury tax is out of control right now, and I know they make a lot of money. But they might not even make the playoffs with that. That's asinine. Draymond Green used to be one of those players where you hated him if you were on the other team, but you loved him if he was on your team. I think he's way outgrown that. I think the players on his team are we're tired of this shit.
Yeah.
Especially because they had to get rid of Jordan Poole, who was a freaking baller, because of him.
Oh, see, I'm not a Jordan Poole fan.
I like Jordan Poole.
That guy thinks he is way bigger than what he is. And he is not very big. And he's proving that where he's at now.
Well, he's in a bad place right now. He's in a bad freaking place right now.
I mean, if he wants to be the man, and you want to be a man on a bad team,
yeah,
and not be the man on the bad team, then we got an issue.
Yeah. Another one, and I don't think that they'll be doing anything, but they're going to have a lot of opportunity because they got some people that a lot of people want, and that's the Bulls. They have too many big-name players that are injured. Zach LaVine, injured quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Lonzo Ball, his career is probably over, and that sucks because I really like out of all the balls, I like Lonzo the best.
He still can't shoot.
he was really playing really well before his last injury, and now after multiple surgeries, they just came out and said they don't even know what's wrong with his knee. They still don't know. I mean, it's crazy to me.
Well, that's just like Embiid's legs. Mm-hmm. I mean, what's wrong with his legs all the time?
Yeah.
I mean, the fall that put him into surgery and the one that landed on him didn't look any worse than any other scrum on the floor that I have ever seen. And all of a sudden, he's out for weeks.
Yeah.
Again.
I mean, they could get, if they're willing to shop people. I wouldn't touch DeRozan. I love DeRozan. He's one of my favorite players in the league. But what you could get for Zach LaVine and Caruso, I mean, you could almost name your price. You could get a lot for one or both of those guys.
Yeah, but getting rid of those guys, I think, is a 3 to 4 to 5 year plan with all the draft picks that you're going to acquire for him.
Well, I mean, you could get some freaking big names too. And LaVine has a big cap hit. Yeah, big cap hit.
But for being a seller with a high dollar player, he's going to have to go to a situation that isn't currently up in the top tier.
Yeah.
He would have to be in one of the 8, 9, 10 teams to possibly jump them into 6, 7, 5 area, because those teams won't be willing to part with what they have.
A lot of it to me also is you have players that it's more important to win a title than it is the money. And then you have players where money is a lot more important and the title's like, cool, but if I'm going to get $50 million a year to go to a team that's going to win 25 games,
young guys will probably take it.
I got $50 million.
Yeah, I think that goes with the young guy, old guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Old guys want the title because they're running out of time.
Karl Malone, Mitch Richmond, classic.
Young guys want the money so they have security and hopefully get to that point.
Right. I think one of the biggest sellers are going to be the Wizards. They are in a complete rebuild. Nobody should be left off the table. They should dump anybody and everybody they can. Get as much draft capital as you possibly can and build around what you can.
Wizards are a train wreck.
They're a train wreck.
They don't know which direction they're going.
Down.
They don't know what they're doing. And it's... You can see it on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean, how long their head coach and GM are going to be there for.
Yeah. After this year, probably not.
They're going to have to clean house.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they're doing. Keep the main 2 guys on your roster. Dump everybody else. Start over. Yeah. Because it's just not working there with whatever they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So.
And the last team for me, and this should be a no-brainer, are the Pistons. Oh, my God. I don't think anybody's off the table. Maybe Cade Cunningham. But that team is just... They're bad.
Well,
they're really bad.
They have got so many top 5 first-round picks on that team.
Yeah.
As well as Jalen Duren, who is balling out pretty well for being a lower-end first-round pick. They just need some sort of veteran presence to possibly bring it all together.
I think they need a lot more than that. They are not playing well as a team, man. They're bad. They're bad.
They are, but they have. I believe they have.
They got a lot of talent, individual talent.
Yeah.
I don't know if they need a new coach to bring it together. I don't think one veteran player can bring it together. But if you want one, come get Harrison Barnes.
Oh. Yeah, I'd trade Harrison Barnes for Cade Cunningham.
Oh, or Jalen Duran, or I'd take a couple different people off of there. All right, let's get into the hobby. I know there was a topic that you wanted to talk about. One thing I wanted to bring up real quick, freaking immaculate NBA. I was so irritated at the price of that product. I didn't buy any, but I want to know who the hell at Panini comes up with these prices. The price for a box, which is, 6 cards in Immaculate, $1,664.75. That's what you choose to price your cards at? Why not just do like $1,650? Or why come up with 1,664? Like, it was just the most odd number I've ever seen. And it was last year's product. How are you a year behind in a product?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of behind the scenes with the major distributors, like Blowout Cards, DA Card World.
Yeah.
Maybe even Steel City Collectibles. I know they're pretty high up in the market area.
Yeah.
There's some stuff behind the scenes of the pre-sales that they work with Panini on to work on the pricing of this. How they get it to there, or how they believe that they're going to be able to screw somebody over for $1,600 for 6 cards is beyond me.
Especially for last year's product.
Yeah.
Like, unless you get a Palo logo, man, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose money.
Yeah, it's Palo or Chet patch autos. If you don't hit them, you're done.
Done.
It's just like
you're gonna spend almost $1,700 on a box of cards, and you might get $150 worth of cards. Maybe.
Just wait till Prism Basketball shows up.
Well, see, that's something like I was talking to my wife about this on the way in today, debating on if I'm going to get a first off the line or not, because there's certain products where the upside, the risk is almost there. It's almost worth it. Granted, they're going to come out tomorrow. First off the line comes out tomorrow. They're starting off at $2,000. You and I both know they're not going to drop. I don't think they're going to go below 15. You said probably 12.50.
I think 12.50.
I'm hoping if they go to 12.50, I'm going to get a box.
Yeah, 7.50 is their floor on the site, but it's never going to get there.
I'm assuming their hobby boxes are going to come out for around 7.50. That's what I think their hobby boxes are going to come out.
I think their hobby boxes are going to be upwards of $1,050 to $1,100.
I don't think they'll be that much higher than NFL, especially because NFL first off the line came out at $2,500, and the first off the line NBA is already $500 less than that starting off, and NFL hobby boxes came out at a little over 700 when they first came out. Now they're above 1,000, which is stupid because the biggest hits have already been pulled. But if you get a first off the line, all you get in there extra is 2 parallels to 35.
The shimmers.
But if you hit that Wemby, which the chances are slim to none, but if you hit that Wemby and you get it out there immediately, what's somebody going to pay for that? $5,000?
Yeah, well, you have, if I'm not mistaken, there's 4 colors of shimmers. There's red, blue, green, and black. So you've got 35, 25, 60, 71 shimmers of Wemby. Yeah, if you hit one, someone's going to pay $5,000.
Oh, especially if you get it out there early before the hobby boxes come out. You look at the CJ Strouds. When the silver prisms, when the first off the line came out, the first ones that were going on freaking eBay, the first ones sold were like $1,000. Yeah. Now they're dropping to like $200, $300, $400. Yeah. Because everybody's hitting them now. And it was just like when Prism draft picks came out. Dude, I hit a Wembanyama silver draft picks, And that thing went for like $500.
Yeah.
Now it's like $80, $90.
I just graded his base card to get it, got a 10, sold it for $125.
Yeah.
So
for a base card.
Yeah, I was happy for that.
Yeah. Prism is definitely one of those where it's just the resell on those. The resells, besides Flawless and National Treasures, Prism is the highest resell.
Right.
And it's just one of those where I'm definitely going to be getting some hobby, but first off the line, it just depends on what it drops to. I'll be watching it closely tomorrow. I would just say that.
There is another YouTube channel that I pay attention to during the drop. Besides
Sacktown Packhound, follow me on YouTube.
Yes, follow us on Sacktown Packhound. But yeah, there is another YouTube channel that does the drop, but he's able to see like the traffic.
Oh, okay.
Of the eBay.
Oh, that's really...
I don't know how.
That's crazy.
But he's able to see the traffic with what's being purchased during the countdown on the FOTLs.
Right.
And he lets you know, okay, there's high traffic right now. But, I mean, if you put it in your cart, and then you can just click back on the cart when you think it's going to level out. I've been pretty successful hitting it at the floor or one step above the floor for a lot of the products recently.
Right.
Prism's going to be interesting because if you think it's going to sell it at $1,500, then their hobby boxes are going to start at least $11.
It's like I said, it's one of those products where, like Phoenix. Phoenix is not a product that breakers buy into because they can't make a lot of money off it. That's why it's still on Panini's website to this day.
It's cheaper on blowout carts right now.
Right. But Prism, Immaculate, Impeccable, all those breakers go crazy over because they can make money hand over fist over that.
Yeah.
So Prism, football and basketball, they're going to go crazy over that. It's going to be asinine, especially because of Wemby. It's just like, dude, the breakers are going to have a field day tomorrow. A field day.
The other rookies that are involved in this class, you've got the Thompson brothers, which you don't hear much about, being the 3rd and 5th pick in the draft.
Scoot Henderson.
Who's
finally starting the ball. I love Scoot.
But the rest of the rookie class, you don't hear about.
No.
So they are basing everything off of Wemby.
It's just like football. Everything's off of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, but at least you have a few decent receivers in there. You've got another couple of quarterbacks that are in there.
Tight ends.
Correct.
Dalton Kincaid to Sam Laporta.
Yeah, you don't have the autos with those guys, but at least with Prism, you've got all of their color.
Well, the only thing about football is positional players don't mean shit. Quarterbacks drive the market.
Correct.
Like, you have a gold wide receiver to freaking 10 auto, and it's going to sell the same as a freaking silver Prism Anthony Richardson base.
Yeah.
It's stupid, bro. It's stupid.
The more money guys drive the hobby.
Whereas, like, basketball, it's not as bad as that. But, yeah, it's both sports, it's one player driving the hobby completely. And next year's football is going to be worse because of the draft class coming in.
Yeah,
there's a lot of quarterbacks coming in. There's Marvin Harrison Jr., but there's a lot of quarterbacks that are going to be, you know what I'm saying, next year. Caleb Williams, Drake May, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. Shador, if he comes out, which is overrated as hell, but he's going to drive the hobby.
He ain't going nowhere.
There's a lot of possibly good players coming out next year, and it's going to drive the hobby crazy.
Yeah. I don't know who they're all signed with or which direction they are going to sign. I was talking with a guy.
Topps is going to sign most of them.
Well, I was talking with a guy at Fanatics who hits me up every time some products release, and I was asking him if he knew what was taking place with the whole lawsuit information with Panini's. I don't get that information. I'm like, all right, you don't want to leak it. It's fine. You don't know I got a YouTube channel now. So I was also asking him, okay, well, who's signing? I mean, what guys from this draft class are signing? I can't let that release either. So obviously you got somebody.
Yeah.
And you got somebody big.
I think it's going to be Caleb. I think they're going to talk to them and say, like, look, we already got CJ. We already got Levis. We already got Bryce. We got the biggest names.
And we're going in the direction of printing.
Yeah.
So.
And they're doing what Panini's not. They're giving them a portion of revenue sales from products, whereas Panini's not. So that's why they're able to sign these guys for so much more.
Yeah, even though they're not printing any cards of them yet.
I don't understand.
Besides the stuff in Bowman University.
Yeah, but I don't, like, you own the printing press that Panini uses. Tell them to step the hell aside, make some Topps freaking chrome right now. I don't care if it's unlicensed, so we can have some rookie autos.
Yeah, I asked him if they were going to be printing football this year, and he said, as of right now, it's not on the table.
It's so frustrating. Because I honestly think we are going to be stuck in this situation until Panini's deal runs out, and that's 2026. I think we have 2 more years of this.
I think so too.
And we're going to be stuck with overpaying because Panini is going to just make it as much as they possibly can because they know they only have 2 years left. They're going to make as much money as they possibly can, and as long as these breakers, like I said, I don't blame the breakers at all. I blame Panini because they're using the breakers because they know they can price it however the hell that, you know what I'm saying, that they want, and whatever they price it at, they're going to buy it at, and then they're going to base their prices on breaks based off of their price. And there's nothing we can do about it except be mad because they're pricing us out of the hobby.
Yeah, breakers make everything. Breakers are not losing money at all.
No, not at all. And they shouldn't. I mean, it's a freaking business. It's not their fault. It's not like they got to deal with, you know what I'm saying, Panini. They're getting screwed just like we are. They're overpaying for product.
But
they just have
really?
I mean, they're smart though. They're in a business where they can make money off of it. It's not their fault. They're smart because of that.
Do they not have deals on the side with Panini of getting?
Oh, certain ones do. Backyard freaking breaks definitely does. I mean, that's why they get told every time. The majority of breakers, no. But there's certain breakers that do. Backyard Breaks undoubtedly has deals with Panini. That's why you could go watch them, and they'll have boxes where Panini's written on the damn box, kaboom inside, smiley face, or whatever the hell it is, and they pull the biggest hits every product.
I don't understand how that's even mathematically it's not possible.
No, I don't care how much product that you go through to hit the product chase in almost every product that there is crazy. I'm surprised they haven't hit the freaking Bronny LeBron gold vinyl yet.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the only ones that hasn't been hit yet.
Yeah, it's the only autograph from LeBron.
That he hasn't signed with Upper Deck ever.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. But I know you wanted to talk about something real quick, and that's the retail, right?
Yes. So what I see taking place is Panini now dropping retail product on their website.
Mm-hmm. Blasters and Megas.
Correct. And they're pricing it like blasters at like $35 a blaster. And Absolute is now coming out in a couple of days.
Yeah, I saw that.
So as of right now, Target still has them in stock at $29.99. Mm-hmm. Why am I paying $35 on Panini's website?
Right.
For Prism football, I just saw that Panini or Target has them back on their websites at $30. But they're sold out on Panini. Mm-hmm. What I don't understand, or what I'm trying to wrap my head around, is the fact that why is Panini getting into the retail game?
Because they're getting out of the business in 2 years and they're trying to make every dime that they can.
Is it because they have so much product, paper, what have you, that they are trying to unload and just overloading the retail market to where all the retail stuff is now junk wax?
Yep.
Because having things, or are they shortchanging the retail outlets like Walmart and Target and Dick's Sporting Goods or whoever else is selling their product?
Barnes and Noble, who I didn't even know.
Best Buy does it too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay? So all of these outlets, if they're not getting enough product at the price point that they're paying Panini, Panini's now saying, okay, well, we don't have to send to you. We can list it on our website for more.
Right.
Don't have to pay the discount or give you the discount at your retail your retail stores, and we'll just overcharge you on the website and get it sold out there.
And I wouldn't be surprised, since they're doing that now, if it's going to be harder for the retail stores to get it once they sell out. Because I know a lot of hobby shop owners, and one of the biggest problems that they have is that the vendors that they get it from, because they don't have direct, deals with Panini or Topps. They have to get it through vendors. And vendors will be hella greedy. And they will give them, they'll say, we'll give you 2 cases of Panini Prism, but you have to buy 5 cases of this crap hockey product that nobody wants. Or if you don't want to do that, you can only get 1 case. And as a hobby shop, you're like, what the hell am I going to do with 12 boxes, bro? Yeah. And then after that, they either can't get any more, or it's such an asinine price, it doesn't make sense because they have to make a profit on it, so they got to mark it up for what more than what they get it for. And then you get a product that on Panini's website is $750, but in their shop they have to sell it for $1,000. And then you get people coming in, why the hell is your product $1,000 when on Panini it's $750? And it's like, I know these owners, and they're like, dude, I don't want to sell you the product at $1,000. I would love to sell it to you at $750. I can't.
And that's why I'm waiting for the Phoenix football to go to end of stock on Panini at $3.95 or whatever it is.
And then it'll go on sale.
And then I will see Blowout at $3.89. Will they now start to increase their prices because you can't buy it on Panini at $3.95 anymore? But I can buy it on Blowout for $3.89. Mm-hmm. Is that going to jump to $4.25 or $4.50 once it's gone on Panini sites?
Right.
Shady money.
It's a shady game, dude. And then dumbasses like us continue to buy it, and I will continue to buy it because I'm an idiot. And it's so frustrating, though, man. It's frustrating because, you know, having the YouTube channel and starting to get bigger in the YouTube channel, I have a lot of people contact me, a lot of people with young kids, and a lot of these parents that have decent jobs. They work 50, 60 hours a week. Mm-hmm. They watch my channel, which I'm so thankful for. They watch my channel because they can't afford to get a box themselves. They just want to see a box open. They want to see, they get excited seeing big cards hit because they can't buy a box. And it's so crazy to me that Panini is catering to the 1% of people that can afford their freaking product, and everyone else, they're like,
yeah, I don't even think it's I think it's way less than 1% that can afford their product.
Yeah, I wouldn't freaking doubt it.
I mean,
even their low-end products are $300 to $400.
There are no low-end products anymore.
I mean,
that's your retail.
Score, Bowman U, which is tops. Yeah. But there's a few products where you can get a box for $200, and to me, in today's hobby, that's a low-end product.
Yeah, wild card or
leaf. Yeah. And like Score and all that, it's a paper product. It's crap. Even if you hit the biggest card of the product, you're going to get a $150 card. It's crazy. But the products, just like, you know what I'm saying, you said, 4 or 5 years ago, a case of Prism was what, $2,000?
$2,000.
A box of Prism now is almost $2,000. It's crazy.
Yeah, I bought a case of 2017 Prism football for like $1,800. You could sell one box out of that case for
way
$6,000.
Yeah. It's freaking asinine, bro, and it's only gonna get worse until Topps takes over, and hopefully they have a little bit of morals about them and they bring the hobby. It's never going to go back down to what it was, but hopefully they make it a little bit more reasonable.
No, I agree. And then, I mean, we'll see what Panini brings out with soccer or WWE or tennis.
Well, UFC
they
just stopped with, you know what I'm saying, Panini. They already signed with Topps now.
Yeah, and
so
Panini's
UFC and so Panini's done with UFC and, you know what I'm saying, WWE. So, I mean, which kind of sucks because that was one of the few products that was kind of affordable. You could get some Prism UFC for like $300.
I did like Select WWE, Prism WWE.
I love Prism.
Revolution WWE.
One of the biggest cards I have ever pulled was Prism UFC, a Cosmot Gold Flashback Auto. Oh. Got it graded, got a PSA 10 on it. Pop 1 is for sale on my eBay store. It's only $10,000. Come check it out. My beautiful bartender, could we please get a shot?
Hey, just to let you know, bowling last Wednesday, Yes, I'm an avid bowler. I am in the Sacramento Bowling Hall of Fame.
Which I did not even know existed.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Nobody knows it existed, but it does. Yeah, I shot my 61st.
Can't get that one open.
Oh, that's right.
61st 300 game last Wednesday,
Nice.
and my 61st 800 series last Wednesday.
I will let everybody know I am a solid 110 average.
Yeah, so it was good times for the first time in a while.
Congratulations.
Had a good night.
Big shout out to my boys. I know that we lost, but man, I told my boys those are the games that you will remember for the rest of your lives. The games you beat a team by 20, 30 points, you forget about the next day. Those games that go into overtime, win or lose, that's what makes you a better team. I'm proud of you guys. We're called the Beam Team, so if you guys are watching this, much love to you guys. I'm super, super proud of you guys. I told you guys, remember that feeling, use it as motivation. We'll be back next year and we'll take them both.
My girls will remember the 26-6 win.
Let's go. Cheers. Woo! And with that, you guys, I thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys so much. So until next time, get out of my house.
Peace.
Let's go.